For the channeling messages for all of my Taurus placements, whether you are a Taurus Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Mars placements, or you just have Taurus in your chart, these channeled messages are for the Taurian energy. If you resonate with the energy, even if you don't have a sign, I do feel like this is a very broad reading today. So, welcome, you guys. If you are new, welcome to our Love Nest over here on Talk Taurus Tarot. If you're returning, welcome back, you guys. It's late, but we're here. We are here. Happy Venusian Day. Happy Friday. Before I get started with these channeled messages, let me give y'all the rundown. All right. We just going to chill today. All right. Today is going to be more of a conversation. We're going to open dialogue with the chat, interact with the chat today. And ultimately, outside of the channel messages, you guys, I'm here to learn from you guys. I'm here to absorb, all right, the dialogue, open the conversation, and just talk about different things that I'm sure we all are going through in different ways on our journey. Even though we are walking separate journeys, we all are interconnected. So I don't want to hold on too tightly to your specific problem or my specific problem or anything like that. I feel like this is an open platform for us to be able to talk about a plethora of things that we are all probably going through. So before I do that, I will channel the messages from spirit. We will, of course, tap into what's manifesting in the energies for Taurus, what's manifesting in love and money and all those great things, and whatever spirit wants us to know throughout this reading. And at the very end, I would like to open up the chat and have a conversation with you guys about some downloads that I received early this morning. And if you are interested and you would like to be a guest, um, and jump on the live stream with me and share your perspective, that is open as well. All I ask is that if you are going to be a guest on the show and you are going to jump on the screen with me, that you are willing to keep into consideration that other people will be watching it and show your face. Okay. So if I send you the link and you want to jump on the live stream and you want to talk, it's just conversation. So just make sure, if you got your bonnet on, turn the lights on so we can see you. It's not mandatory, but I am going to open up the invitation for the guests to come on the live stream with me towards the end. Um, so, yeah, let's go ahead and pull up the chat right quick. Let me do some shout outs to everyone in the chat. And guess what? We have a winner. All right. So there is a winner for the 101 tarot reading with me. That is going to be a 101 spiritual guidance session with me outside of the stream. So we would probably do a Zoom call for the winner for that. And we'll schedule that offline. And you can reach me directly at talktaurustarot@gmail.com. And we'll schedule that offline. Okay. So before we get into that, let's jump into the chat. Hey Queen, how are you? I see Queen in the chat. Hey girlfriend. What's up, Elizabeth? Hey Nita. Caitlin. I hope you are having a great day as well, Natalie's. Candace. Good to see you. Beyonce. Hey girlfriend. What's up, Six? Cassie. Pebbles. Andrea, good evening, wherever you are. Good morning, good night. Trinity, Aziza, hey girlfriend. Right? Better late than never. I actually went with my family and we watched, I think it's Ant-Man. It was the new Ant-Man movie, Quantum something. It was really good. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. It was dope. What's up, Salisa? What's up, Rhonda? What's up, self care? Hey, girl. So, yeah, let's jump into it. It's Friday, you guys. We made it through another week. I'm excited. I'm excited. Let me see. Yes, I'm doing well. As I'm doing well. I appreciate all y'all for asking. So the winner. Let's talk about the winner for a second. So the tarot reader, well, the person in the comments when I did the whole live, it was like 245. So this is number 130, and the winner is Stephen D. So if Stephen D, if you're not in the chat tonight, I know it's late, but I will be posting um your name as well on the community tab with all of my information for you to get in contact with me. So you can reach out to me from the community tab. If you rewatch this on replay, that's where you can find me. Okay. If Stephen D never gets back to me, I will be picking another person. Okay. All right, cool, cool, cool. I think we're good. So let's jump into these channel messages. What is manifesting in the energy for all of my Taurians? Okay, this is interesting, you guys. So we have man holding a heart. So the current energy right now is, to me, this is emotional intelligence. Okay, in matters of love, this is, having that emotional intelligence. This could also be water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You could be embodying that energy, or you're just in this energy of love. Okay. Love is in the air. I do feel this, but I do feel like it's more emotional maturity. All right. You're not wearing your heart on your sleeve. And as you can see in the card, this person, they've been through some things. Okay. So there's like, I want love, but I don't want to be reckless about it. I want love, but I know the type of love I do not want. So even though you want love, Taurus, I do feel like you have kind of placed a level of maturity around how you give your love, how you interact with other people that want your love, and what you're looking for is very specific. Okay. And I do feel like you've been really teaching yourself the energy that I'm picking up on. You've been teaching yourself, you've been taking advice as well. I can pick up that energy where you're open to advice, you're open to seeing how you yourself might come off as being a little arrogant, or you may come off as being um a show off, or your energy is just extremely loud. Like, I don't want no player, I don't want anyone that's going to waste my time. You know what you want. So whoever you are, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell if you are attracting this type of energy because you've been quick to jump into relationships before in the past, or you've been quick to deal with people and let people into your life. And naturally, if you're holding that position of this is what I don't want, we tend to attract what it is we don't want because we are hyper attuned to whatever it is we do not want to experience. So, what I feel like here is, um, there's like it's overly confident, overly pronounced. Okay. So it's like energetically, take it both ways because, like I said, it's difficult for me to discern. You separate your energy versus the energy that is coming with you. So don't hold on too tightly to what I'm about to say, but I got to get it out. Okay. On one hand, you're open to love, but not really. Okay. You're open to interacting with people, but you looking at people with the side eye. Okay. With good reason. So your energy is showing up as someone who promises to give love, but you're not able to actually deliver it, which means you're saying, I'm willing to give love. You're making that promise. I will give it to you, but you have to prove yourself to me. You have to let me be the person to judge and determine that. And holding that space in that time, you may not be giving much. You may not really be delivering on your end of the bargain because you feel like you have a really good love to give, but you just not going to give it to anybody. Okay. So in that process, it's like energetically, it feels like a person just has to know what you want and what you don't want in order for them to get right, in order to be on the right side of receiving your love. And that's a very tricky place to put somebody in because to them it reads as if they are paying for the sins of another person. Okay? Why I feel like this energy is here is because you've done it the hard way already. A lot of you have already done it the hard way. You got into relationships or you dealt with someone, you gave them all of your love, and it made for a soft ass. So you had to learn some hard lessons around moving too quickly and giving a person too much of your love, right? So now you have a formula. There's this energetic math equation that I see underneath. Like it's in the fine print. It's not something that you're leading with, but it's the loud message that a person will receive trying to connect with you, Taurus. All right? And I feel like this is something that you're willing to fight for. Your position on where you stand about this, you're not wavering about it. And I'm not here to tell you that it's wrong. I'm just reading the current energy. What it does set this up for, it sets up for disharmony, it sets up for disconnection, it sets up for inequality, it sets the relationship up to be unhappy couples because this is the energy of like you're playing Russian roulette with someone. Like it's daredevil energy. I dare you to cross me and watch what happens. I dare you to not to treat this love the way you're supposed to be treated, and you're gonna get cut off like nobody's business, right? So let's talk about this energy that is also connected to you, because for some of you this is someone that's connected to you. This person that is connected to you is very, their energy is very loud. All right, they're very strong, they're very not dominant, but they're very present. Okay. This is also someone that I feel does the same thing in regards to you. And this is where it's kind of hard to decipher it because I feel like someone that's connected to you has a tendency as well to be hyperactive, right? They like immediate gratification, immediate response. So let's say, for example, you don't respond right away. that's a red flag for one person, but for the other person, it's a warning sign, a run sign. So it's a red flag as in, oh, you don't care about me for one person, and it's a red flag for the other person as this is a red flag, don't deal with that person. So you both are receiving the same red flag, but neither one of you may be able to see what is the driving cause behind the red flag. What does the red flag mean? Is it toxicity? Or is it the inability to open up and be vulnerable with another person while at the same time perceiving yourself to be emotionally available? So essentially, right now, the energy is emotionally available, unemotionally available. And both of you are energetically making promises to each other, whether that be telepathically or directly, but neither one of you are able to deliver on it because both of you are waiting for the other person to prove something. So essentially, there's like this parent child narrative or this teacher student narrative, uh and both of you feeling like you know best. So you and someone else energetically is showing up in my reading, in this reading, as two people that think they know the best way. So let's get into what's manifesting in love, right? We got stalking, intimidation, we have confrontation. So what's manifesting is a confrontation, an argument, right? A conflict. Y'all crack me up. She said, I do know what's best. And it's like, well, let me put one person is saying, let me pull back my love and I could be better on my own because I don't want to have to deal with this pressure. I don't want to have to deal with another arrogant person. But these are two stubborn people. So I'm picking up an energy of two people that are so much alike that it's irritating. You're so much alike in different ways that it's nerve-wracking, okay? But something is coming to a conclusion. If you've been in separation from someone, whether that be in the same household or you're in no contact over, state lines, it doesn't matter. I do feel like there is a lot of mind reading going on. There is a lot of suspicion, trying to really read the other person energetically, trying to figure out what the problem is without actually talking about it, without actually working through it. It's more or less like shut down on shut down. I'm shutting down, you're shutting down, and we're just going to see who gives in first. Okay? While at the same time, the other person is holding on. So you have one person holding on, you have another person holding back. The both of you are still in that not five of pentacles. You're in that four of pentacles stuck energy. I'm good. I don't need this. I don't want this in my life. This is too much. And I just feel like you guys are not talking about this. This is like the elephant in the room. Holding on to past issues, control, being in control of the narrative. There's also something going on about like over concerned about the finances or being overly concerned about materialism, right? This could be in regards to expenses or paying for certain things. I'm seeing, things coming up about the logistics as well. Some of you may also be dealing with someone else. This could be with the Men in Black card. Okay, this is like an agent. Okay, so someone in the shadows that is inserting themselves indirectly. which could also be affecting your relationships. Because it feels like no matter where you go, there's always someone watching. Or creating like a confrontation here. I feel like there's a spiritual third party. What's up, Ola? I keep saying it wrong. Is it Olarun's Palace? Y'all be sure to check him out. He's dope as well. I feel like there is a hidden agenda around this energy. There's a hidden agenda, you guys, that you may not be aware of. And I feel like Spirit wants you to see that you guys are falling for a bigger scheme. There's like a bigger scheme, a bigger plot twist that's happening here. So let's see what this plot twist is, because I feel like Spirit is really about to like really expose something. It feels like exposing a system, or exposing a system that was designed to specifically for you and this person. You guys are mirroring each other, but there's a plot or a hidden agenda by a secret society system that was designed to target stubborn people, designed to target people that come off very bold, very strong. If you have those type of personality traits within you where you are headstrong and you don't really like to be told what to do, both of you don't like to be told what to do, there's an agenda to help you guys destruct yourselves, to help you both destroy yourselves. This is like giving a child candy, right? Knowing that the candy is gonna fuck their teeth up, but you give it to them anyway. You don't even realize that you are participating in a hidden agenda that creates more sales for one person and increases their pockets, but takes money out of your pocket and creates more health issues, dental issues, money issues. But you can't see it from a bigger perspective because it's too close. The mirror is too close to you, and all you can see is, I'm frustrated. So I do feel like there's that element of exploiting you, cultivating off of you, profiting off of your inability to experience love and joy in your love and relationships. And there's a reason behind that. Because without your participation, a system can't continue to function, right? So this is very deep seated, and this goes back way, way back, is what Spirit is showing me. But you don't have, it's like you can't even win at the game of love. You can't even really have a seat at the table if no one's telling you the rules to the game. If nobody's been giving you the advice and the guidance, you are left in the middle of the ocean without any life support, and you're drowning. Essentially, the both of you are drowning, and at the end of the day, it's only Spirit that's going to talk to you in your head and try to reason with you. But if you're too arrogant, you won't hear the voice of God, right? And if you're too hurt, you can't hear the voice of God either, because you won't be able to discern if it's your thoughts, your own negative thoughts, or if that's what God is telling you to do. So I feel like Spirit is here to really give you insight, expose something, because like Spirit is saying, you're focusing on the hand, but there's so much more going on behind the scenes, but you can't see that far. So let's see, Spirit, let's go into this current energy for Taurus. There's the Four of Pentacles. Didn't I say the four? I know y'all heard me say the Four of Pentacles. If somebody heard me say the Four of Pentacles, just let me know. Because here's the situation. There's something that you're holding on and you're taking with you. Look at that. We have the Hierophant. That's Taurus energy. So Spirit is saying you have been chosen to teach yourself. You have been chosen to be self-taught. You have been chosen to learn on this journey and to go through so many difficult things as someone that's always going to challenge and rebel against systems, structures, all these different things. You were chosen to be that one to go through so many experiences so that you can become the Hierophant as Taurus, so that you can hold the wisdom and rise and ascend to a level of elevation, and you yourself will understand the four of pentacles will no longer rule you. You understand? It will no longer have the power to rule the way in which you show up for yourselves and others, because you understand from an inner perspective what it all means, what it was designed for. And then that wisdom is something you're supposed to be able to transcend and give to other people. So that way they don't have to go through your experience and learn the hard way. But we haven't been able to get to that point yet because Spirit is trying to get you to see the Four of Pentacles. You're harboring something. You're harboring something. Spirit, what is Taurus harboring? This person lied to me. Okay. The Seven of Swords is deception. It's also self-deception energy. Because on some level, you know, Taurus, but you don't know how to get rid of it. You don't know how to let it go. And that's a lot easier to say and admit. It may be harder to say or admit, but it is a lot easier when you're aware of it. So that way you can work towards eradicating it, right? Putting it in its place, giving it what it's supposed to be given. So Spirit is saying this is what you need to know. The Two of Swords is blocking you from experiencing so much. Spirit, can you show me? Because I'm picking up resilience energy. You've had to go through so much. You're resilient. At this point, that's your energy. The Four of Pentacles is Taurus, Capricorn energy. At some point in your life, you've been through everything. You've been through possession, you've lost possessions, you've gained possessions, you've been possessed by someone, you've been controlled by someone. At times you may have been controlling yourself. You've had your stability ripped from you and given back to you. You've had financial security be a thing of your comfort zone and that be taken from you. You've learned how to save yourself from certain experiences and how to bounce back. You learn how to make something out of nothing. But there's still a bigger picture here. There's still healing here that's required. Uh-huh. Six of Pentacles. Nobody juggles a Taurus. Nobody juggles a Taurus. All right. And that statement alone, nobody gets to juggle a Taurus, that's arrogant. Why not? You know, why not? You will move on before someone juggles you. And I'm not telling you to stay in any relationship or deal with anybody that is literally, knocking your socks off. I'm not saying that. That's not the energy that I'm picking up on. What I'm picking up on is daredevil type of energy. I dare you to try me. I dare you to cross me. Vice versa. I dare you not to love me properly. There will be reparations. This is like, this is reckless. This is reckless. And listen, when I say reckless, it's not a bad thing, okay? Magician. But you need to know it because you're the manifester. All right? If you're watching this live stream, you're aware of manifestation on some level, right? But you're jaded. And when you're jaded, you're only going to manifest more jaded energy. So what's manifesting is love is this person is saying, "Oh, okay. You put your feet in the ground. You're not moving, you're not budging. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to respond the same way." Six of coins. This is a lesson. This is one of the lessons that this person is here to teach you. And you are here to teach this person the same lesson. But how you're going about teaching this person the lesson is counterproductive because you're still Venusian energy. You still need that love energy to manifest other areas in your life, right? We still need that ingredient. You ever try to bake a cake or cornbread without a little sugar or honey? You ever try to make something without sugar and honey? Imagine putting a whole lot of salt and no sugar. Your cake is going to taste nasty. Naturally, because it's a necessary ingredient. So spirit is saying regardless, and this is going to be a trigger statement. So y'all listen to me for a second. Your objective, what is your why? If I go in the kitchen, right? And I decide that I'm in the kitchen to bake a motherfucking cake, right? I have determined that my why is to bake this cake. So I'm the manifester in the kitchen. I'm the chef. I'm the person that gets to determine what goes in and how my cake comes out, right? How I go into the kitchen is how I'm going to come out of the kitchen. Now, let's say, for example, people come into your kitchen. You have no control of who come in and out of your kitchen. But if you're in the middle of baking your cake and you're upset that someone came into your kitchen and you accidentally poured too much salt rather than the sugar when it was time to put the sugar in, you've given that power to somebody else. You've given that power to another person that was just passing through to determine the way the cake bakes, to determine the way the cake tastes. So at the end of the day, if you're the person as the magician in the kitchen cooking the cake and you let a person that's passing through make you forget the ingredients to baking your own cake, then you have allowed yourself to fail because you forgot why you were in the kitchen to begin with. So spirit is saying until you become intentional as to why you're even in the kitchen, then there is always something in the shadows that will be able to come in and trick you and make you forget your own ingredients. And if you're not aware of the ingredients you have on the counter, then you're not the magician. Okay, someone else is in control. You actually gave the power away to the third person that walked into your kitchen and said, "Oh, you should add a little bit of this or a little bit of that." No matter who comes in the kitchen, what they're asking you to make or add. You know how you have some people that come into your life and they're like, "Oh, you ever tried putting raisins in your cake?" That's a suggestion, but it doesn't have to determine how you proceed. You feel what I'm saying? So spirit is saying, as the Hierophant, you have to always be in control of, you have to always be in control of your why. Not just in control of yourself and how you react, but be in control of your why. Why are you in the kitchen? You know what I'm saying? Why are you in the kitchen? That is the control. That's the constant variable. And anytime something gets to break that focus or that concentration, you easily distracted and you're forgetting what you came here for. So yes, that desire to control something, it has a place, but you're placing it in the wrong areas. The desire to control something and give that unwavering focus that a bull is capable of giving, it is only in the direction of why am I here? Why am I doing this? So no matter who come around you, you can hold conversations with anybody. They can tell you what worked for them all day long. And you can smile and you'll have an inner knowing that I'm still the magician. And this way, that Four of Pentacles energy doesn't run rampant in your relationships, in your careers, and it damn sure won't hold you back from being able to make a bomb as the red velvet cake. Because I like red velvet cake. I don't know about y'all. So that is the lesson that this person is trying to teach you. There is no loss. There's only gain. And every time you come encounter with this type of energy in another person and they mirror that back to you, it's an exciting lesson. It's a school, right? Now this person is just giving you something you can gain. You can take something from that. You feel what I'm saying? You can take something from that. Ain't no loss in that. So spirit is trying to, it's like saying cheer up because you haven't lost anything. You can't lose anything unless you believe that you weren't the person manifesting it all along, right? So this is also telling me like this is power of the mind. This is also power of the mind. How do we deal with confrontation? How we deal with confrontation? Okay. Ace of Swords. All right. So Spirit is saying y'all tired. I know. Okay. I get it. Spirit is saying y'all tired. Y'all exhausted. Y'all exhausted. It's hard work. It is hard work because this energy won't allow you to rest. This energy will not allow you to rest. This energy will not allow you to just move on to a new lesson. You want a new lesson. You feel like you've already gained the lesson. You're tired of repeating the same lesson. But Spirit is saying you haven't gained the lesson until you have utilized it, right? So what do I mean when I say you've utilized it? Let's talk about elementary school for a second. The teacher will stand in the classroom and give you a lecture, right? You like, all right, boom, I wrote that down. I got it. I got that in my notes. I want to move on to I want to move on to lesson number 2. Until the teacher has tested you and you were able to display. What that mean? What does display mean? You were able to successfully select all the right answers on that test. You displayed that you really grasped the lesson. So now when I teach lesson 2 to you, you should be able to apply all of the answers that you acquired from the test in lesson 1. But if you're on lesson 2 and you haven't figured out how to apply the answers that you received from lesson 1, then you're not ready to take the test for lesson 2 yet. So Spirit is saying the Ace of Swords is, I'm trying to tell you that you haven't applied it yet. So let's see, Spirit, how do you want them to apply this? 9 of Wands. Because you're defensive now. You don't want to play in the sandlot no more. All right. You want to get out. You're ready to go home. You want to clock out early. You want to go home. You don't want to play this game no more. Matter of fact, your door is closed. You are not accepting offers. You are not you don't want to play with relationships and love. That's not your game. That's not your forte. Not right now. Because even if it's not this person, Spirit is saying you're going to experience the same lesson with every single relationship in your life, your family, your friends, your romantic partners. And when you meet a new person, you're going to start to notice that they're complaining about the same stubborn energy. So, exactly, Nita, when we stop learning, we are dead. And if we're dead, that means we're asleep. But Spirit won't let you go back to sleep. So how do you want Taurus to apply? How do you want Taurus to apply the lesson? King of Swords. So Spirit is saying you have to share that wisdom. As the Hierophant, you have to pass that wisdom on. You can't harbor it for yourself. You can't hold on it for yourself. Now it's time when you got to go and talk to the neighbor down the street. The neighbor down the street was waiting on you to tell them a message. And the neighbor down the street was waiting on you to just have a simple pass by conversation, but you over there like, no, I don't want to talk to nobody. No, I'm okay. The energy is off. Like I can't. Hi, Remy. And Spirit is also saying with these chess pieces that you have to apply it as moves. You got to make moves with those lessons. How are you going to make moves with those lessons? How are you going to let those lessons refine you as silver and gold? How are you going to apply it in your life where it's now bringing you prosperity in your life? It's now creating doors and opportunities in your life. It's become a catalyst. It's become a catalyst because you are a beacon of hope. So now, let me give you an example. Let's use Remy for a second. Remy went on a date from hell tonight. She just came home from a date from hell. Wherever she went on this date, there was conversations that were had. There were experiences that Remy got to experience. Now, from one perspective, it was hell. From another perspective, you can take that experience, turn on your creative video and describe certain patterns or flags that you were able to identify and see for yourself that taught you that this is someone that you should look out for. Essentially, that wisdom that you partake, or that bread that you partake and you share with someone else on whatever platform or whoever else you have a conversation with, don't just leave them with that was the date from hell. You should be able to dissect that conversation and say, the moment that he kept pressuring me to ask, these are some of the 5 things that I was able to identify that are flags when someone is trying to pressure you to do something that you don't want to do. Step 1, they will ask you the same question over and over again. Now you have turned that date or that experience into prosperity. You feel me? It serves us no purpose to only be able to talk about people, places, and things if we have nothing of substance to share with the other person we're breaking bread with. At that point, we're only engaging in folly. You feel what I'm saying? So, this is what Spirit is saying. That is an example of how you apply your experience into real time and you allow it to work for you rather than against you. Doors are waiting to be open for you, Taurus. Look at this. Doors are waiting to be open for you. This is also the journey that is going to bring you love, tapping into your prosperity. Energetically, look at that, the 4 of Wands. Energetically, some Spirit is saying the events are going to lead up to a very stable foundation, and you'll start to realize that through mere conversation and through just sharing your life experiences and being the Hierophant, you will set yourself up for your future. A healthy relationship is something about, redigesting your own experience. When you reflect on your own experience and you give it life in that way, that is magician work. That is manifesting with intention. Nothing that you are doing on this realm in this dimension should ever just be just for nothing. As the Hierophant, because this is what this is saying. The Spirit is saying when you're energetically doing that, the lessons keep going. They keep flowing. Do you understand? So moving forward, Spirit is saying, let's talk about what's manifesting in finances and career. Let's talk about what's manifesting in your finances and in your career. Well, we got the love turned off. So we got Venusian energy, but it's in reverse. This is your energy. This is your strength. This is where your strength really exists in. Your love is where like the whole cake example is what I'm trying to explain when it comes to using your empathy, right? If you have the gift of empathy and you are an empath, the days of going into an environment and allowing someone to project their energy on you and it shuts you down, right? And you become clammed up because you can sense all of their negativity, you can feel their negativity, right? That is one phase of the empath journey. That is one phase as an empath, one phase. Hyper attuning to the negativity in the room, knowing what to look out for, knowing what to stay away from. That is a gift, but it is a very powerful gift. All right. But what they're not going to tell you is what the system is not going to tell you is that as an empath, you have the power and the ability to walk into the room. And just as you were able to pick up and receive messages from people, you have the power to implant your message. You have the ability to walk into a room and be in control of the room. You have the ability to command that everyone that is in your auric field will experience love. It's not a question. It will have to mold to fit you. But if you are not transmuting that energy and you are not implanting that energy into the people that come around you, then you're allowing yourself to be used. And then you make yourself feel like you have to shy away. Spirit is saying that's an invitation for you to shine brighter. That's an invitation for you to send your energy and expand it wide and far. Right? So no matter where you go, when you go in the grocery store, everyone in the grocery store, if you're walking in the line, before you even speak, the people in the room should be able to know energetically that you need them to remove out of the way, that you need them, that you're trying to get to the damn sugar, and that you need them to part the Red Sea. You are Venusian energy. You break ground. Okay? You break the ground. So when you see people like say, I don't know what it is, but when you walk in the room, I just got to be around you. You're like, oh Lord, that's because I'm an empath and XYZ. I'm going to shy away. No, that's power. That is that is the person confirming for you that your energy carries influence, that your energy, that the room shifts when you're in or you're not in it. That is why you were chosen. That is why you were given these placements within your chart. It's your strength, not your weakness. But how do you wield it? How do you wield that? How do you walk with that light? How do you walk with that divinity, no matter where you go? How do you move people? Because Spirit is saying you're letting the dead get to determine, you're letting the sleep state of mind get to determine how they play around in your energy. And that is because love is something that you're shying away from. You may be good at it in every other area, but when it comes to love, which is your superpower, we're talking about Taurus superpower. Taurus, your superpower is empathy, romance, soulmates, love, compassion. It's an experience. This is why the statement is true that when you lose a Taurus, you lose a great thing. But when you meet someone that has the wisdom, right? And they know your worth and they know your value. Of course they're going to test you. Of course they're going to try. Who wouldn't test their limits? If someone wasn't testing your limits, then you would pretty much outrun them. You would pretty much outweigh them. This is checks and balances. So there's always going to be someone that pushes the envelope with you, Taurus. There is. There's going to always be someone that pushes the envelope. Just like if when it comes to prosperity, there's going to always be someone that comes into your place of business and they're talking bad about you. That's pushing the envelope. But they have no control when you're in control of the room. When your energy exudes what you want it to be. Eventually, they will come to understand that your energy is too high, your elevation is too high for them to continue playing around, and they will excuse themselves. Okay, transmutation, they will excuse themselves. The fear tactics won't work. Look at that. Didn't I say? That is the star. That is your true north node. When your focus is so laser sharp that the only thing you can see is where you're going. Fear, there's no more fear to take risk. You're in control. You're the emperor. All right. So Spirit is saying a lot of prosperity, a lot of finances and career is kind of being blocked right now because there's this belief subconsciously, Taurus, where it's like when I get with the right person, I'll be able to really manifest it the way I want. When I'm in the right circumstances, I'll be really able to work on that craft that I want to work on. When I get my finances right, I'll really be able to utilize more time. But time doesn't wait for no man, right? So when Spirit says work within your current circumstances, work within your current situation, what does that look like for you? If you have no internet and you're living out of your car, but Spirit has strategically placed McDonald's, Starbucks, all these different locations damn near on every corner for you to be able to sit in there and utilize their internet. That's working within your current circumstances, right? That's working within your current situation. Eventually, doing that consistently, you will meet some traction. You will meet some traction. The right people will show up on your journey. And I'm telling you that because I know it. I know it works because I've had to do it. So Spirit is saying there is no excuse when old age, right? Back in old days, there were no cars. Now you have cars. Before you had to use your feet to get an education. Faith is saying that you know that despite what your reality might look like right now, that your belief in what God has promised for you, no man can take from you. So you continue to go. No matter who's looking at you, no matter who's laughing at you, no matter who's saying, oh, damn, that's sad. You had to go through that. It is a blessing that you had to go through that because that is only a confirmation that you're getting closer to your reward, that you're getting closer to your breakthrough. So Spirit is just saying, when you meet that type of situation or you meet that type of adversity, understand that that is a sign from the universe. I sent them to remind you that you're moving mountains. I sent them to remind you that you're breaking generational curses. I sent them to remind you, not break you down, not make you feel like a failure. So, and that's just one example because there's many examples. There's many stories that I'm seeing in my mind's eye, like pages on a book, flipping chapter after chapter. There are those of you that will be sitting in a house around people you don't want to be around, and you feel like when I get out of this house, I'm going to start working on me. But Spirit is saying right now, work on you. Right now in that house with those that you do not like, that make you feel small, use that as motivation, as inspiration. Let the Spirit come over you. Let the Spirit move through you. Don't be so prideful that you do not want to express your vulnerability because it's in vulnerability where your breakthrough will be experienced. Okay? Don't be afraid. Don't worry because of what your circumstances might look like right now. But somebody got to be willing to be the fool. Somebody got to be willing to put themselves out there and let people laugh at them or throw tomatoes. Somebody got to be willing to do it So that way the next person after you will be able to see that, hey, if that person did it and she has 6 kids, I can do it and I only have 3. If that man does it, right? And I watched him pull himself out of the mud as a young man, I feel inspired because I didn't have a man teaching me how to be a man. But I have someone online that is showing me every single day that they exist. So this is why spirit is saying this is where your inheritance is. This is where your blessings are. It's in those small acts or those random acts of kindness that you give, even though you've been given the shitty end of the stick. You feel what I'm saying? Your wishes are, listen, like I don't know about you, but when a person betrayed me, I get excited. It's a turn on for me. When a person stabbed me in the back, I'd be like, oh, whew, that shit felt good. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest because you just blessed me tenfold. When a person steals something from me, I get wet. I don't know about y'all, but that shit is a turn on. I get excited. I feel liberated. And this is the truth. My adrenaline gets pumping and I just be like, whew, God damn. My hands start itching. It's just a confirmation. It's just a confirmation I didn't need it anyway. Death. Listen, you got to get comfortable with dying every single day. You got to get comfortable with dying every single day. I promise you, when they have served their purpose in your life, they will willingly leave. But on a soul level, they're your soulmate. They can't leave. They signed a contract with you to come there and be the bad guy just so you can win. Just so you can win. But you have to be able to see things from that side of the perspective. And if you can only see one side of the perspective, but you're not able to see that every coin has heads and a tails, then you're giving yourself only half of your blessings. You're giving yourself only half of what you could receive. And you need to know that. Because somebody here is going through a death and rebirth. A death and rebirth is here, and it's coming really, really fast. So you let them eat it up. They want it so bad, you let them have it. You ever see a person, they be watching your plate of food so hard, you trying to eat, and they just looking at they licking their lips. You know what I'm saying? They can't stop watching you. Go ahead and give them the plate. Me, I'm gonna give them the plate because you hungry. And as I give you the plate, I'm going to be grateful that you're receiving what you want. Even if I watch them eat their plate, someone else's plate, and now they want my plate, I'm going to give it to them. I'm going to give it to them. Spirit is saying, let them have it. Ask your spirit, okay, now that you told me to give that plate away, where do you want me to go so I could go eat at my table? Because clearly this table had too many mooches on it. This table had too many greedy people on it. And the spirit's going to say, just going to put a thought in your head. Spirit just going to put a thought on your head, like dropping a dime or a pin or a location. And you might just think of a bird one day. And then one day you walking down the street and you see that bird in real life. And then you walk into that shop, right? And you walk into that shop and the person that owns the shop wants you to be the manager. You don't have no credentials. You just walked into the right shop at the right time, and this person just says, "You want this job?" Now you have so much money where you could buy multiple plates. But if you were like, "No, that's my plate. Why you want to take from me? That's wrong." And you spent too much time trying to convince somebody else of what they should or not be doing, then you blocked your own blessing. And that's just an example, all right? When dealing with greedy people or dealing with people that they see yours, they see theirs, and they want more. You got to be willing to go wherever spirit is guiding you to go, because your prosperity is waiting on you to have that breakthrough. Okay? Oh, snap. You got hired on the spot. That's what I'm talking about. Period. So the decision has already been made. There's some type of decision that's already been made. Whether you made this decision, well, you had to have made this decision unbeknownst to you. You're ready to emotionally leave something. You've already emotionally clocked out. And what's to come next is going to happen naturally. The right people are going to come to you doing what you love. You're going to attract your soul tribe. Many of you are already doing that. You're already getting the right people in your life. And the ones that are dysfunctional are willingly walking away. Spirit is saying, let them. But if they come back, let them as well. Because again, they have to come back. Because the lesson isn't complete until those that once wanted what you had so bad, they still have to come back around to you so they can witness the evolution of you. If you don't want them to witness the evolution of you, then you're harboring hard feelings. And remember, karma go both ways. So it's not a good or a bad thing. I'm kind of saying it so you could kind of see how it all comes full circle. And that's okay. Look at that. The Ace of Wands with the Nine of Pentacles. That's powerful. The Nine of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. You're gonna always like this is like a forever spark. Because you got the spark within you, you got the fire within you. The flame exists within you. Look at that. As soon as I said the flame would exist within you, you see that flame inside of her? That's the Queen of Pentacles. Everything is being created from within, and everything is being experienced from within you. Those around you is actually experiencing what's inside of you. So sometimes spirit removes you out of a situation and tells you to go somewhere else, because if you stay there too long, those around you will feel like it's them that's doing it, and it's not them. It's not them, it's really your energy. Right? But if you stay too long and they get too comfortable, they don't grow. And then you're stagnant. So that's what's manifesting in your finances. Spirit is really saying a lot of you are teachers. It's so much bigger than that. Pain is your blessing. Pain is bringing you your perception around how you experience pain is bringing you residual wealth. It's bringing you multiple streams of income. It's bringing you opportunities, doors. And spirit just wants you to keep walking through it. Keep walking through it. And when you see that shadow behind you trying to distract you, remember your focus. Remember your why. Why are you here? Why are you doing this? You get what I'm saying? And you know something is always waiting better for you on the other side. You don't have to watch the pot boil. You don't have to watch the cake bake in the oven, because hell, you put all the ingredients in it. You tasted it. You know what it's going to taste like. You know it's going to be the bomb. And the world just hasn't caught up to you yet. That's all that is. The world just haven't caught up to you yet. I hope that part made sense, you guys. We're going to get what spirit needs you to know. I heard this. What's that word? The world didn't give it to me. I'm feeling a lot of I don't know who's in this chat, that have a lot of, you got to have like a lot of pastors, preachers, ancestors, teachers. Like there is a lot of energy around right now of wise women, wise men, like oh, the elders are here. That's what I feel like. They're here because I'm hearing all these different songs, church songs, y'all. It's in my mind. I can hear it. So this is just confirming for me that you guys have you guys are descendants of very, very influential people. There's a break. They keep saying in there's a break between the old age and the new age. And Taurus, you're meant to bridge that gap between two factions. You're meant to bridge that gap between the old and the new and blend them and help them coexist, okay? Merging these energies. However you do that, I don't know. But I see it, okay? They want you to get over your, they want you to face some type of fear here. There's something you're hesitating on. Okay? There's something that you're hesitating on. You're not quite ready to put yourself out there. All right, you guys may have dealt with certain things where you watched hell, other powerful leaders, they get taken out, right? Powerful influencers, they end up going missing. So that could be a hesitation as well. Like I don't want to put myself in a position prematurely where I'm perceived as a threat to the men in black. That's what I'm seeing here. There's a decision and you have questions. You need some clarity. You got one thing on one arm saying one side of your head saying one thing, the other side saying another, and you're really trying to discern which one is the best choice. So Spirit says you need to know about the world. Okay? Cycles, chapters, seasons shift. We're shifting in our world. The world is shifting in a particular direction. And you have been chosen, Taurus, to whoever you have been chosen to be the pioneers of this shift. You have been chosen to be the leaders of this bridge. Okay? I'm seeing what is it called? The builders rejected. Okay, I heard the builders rejected. I heard it's not sorcerer's stone, but it's something about stone. I'm hearing stone. Something about stone. I don't know what that's saying. So let's see. It's time for you to take your rightful place in the stars. Okay. When you incarnated into this reality, Taurus, they put you at the very, very bottom. Very, very bottom. You were not meant to start from the bottom, but they put you at the very, very bottom. You've been waking up, you receiving the clarity. It's the execution, how you should execute it. In what way does your do you feel spiritually guided to execute this? Like what modality or like what avenue is yours? I feel like you're It's like so many different paths are open up to you. And it's like, which one do I embark on first? Okay. And I feel like you want to be able to make a decision to go down a particular path, and you don't really like change. You don't really want to have to keep changing up. So you want to make the right, precise decision. Let me see right now. Hold on. Okay. All right. There's so much distraction out here. Okay, there's so much distraction. We have the world and moving forward. Moving forward. Hmm. Spirit is saying it's time for you to rejoin the world. It's time to rejoin the world. I get this sense that it's like hiding away or doing something in secrecy. So, whatever it is that you believe in, this feels like, how do I describe it? It's a hard position to really describe because it's very silent. It's not, I feel like you may say out of your mouth, like, this is who you are, this is what you believe in, and your beliefs have changed and they have grown, but there's still a part inside that is really hard with letting go of old beliefs. Okay, forgiving and healing from something is you're doing it, right? You're closing that chapter, and they're telling you it's time to really step out boldly. You know what I'm saying? Like, step out boldly for the rest of the world to know. This is your belief. This is what I stand for. I have a right to speak up and say, this is what I want in my life. This is what I don't want in my life. Even if you say it for yourself and you feel like you don't have to say it to anyone else and it doesn't matter, I feel like a lot of you are being called to be yourself authentically, out loud, and live in color, regardless of the opposition you may receive, or the, you know what I'm saying, the opposition or the hate you may receive. You have a right to step out regardless of who sees it and say, this is what I believe in right now. I may believe my beliefs may change again in the next 5-10 years, but your belief system is always going to keep changing because you're always going to be evolving. So I could go out there today and say, I believe that I will never do X, Y, and Z. Spirit's not going to fault you for that, Because when you go through even more experiences on your journey, you will then be able to say, my belief systems have changed. And you're entitled to that too. But this is like wanting to make sure that when you step out with something and you're promoting something, that you're promoting what you genuinely believe in. But spirit is saying, like, you believe, Taurus, but some of y'all really don't believe. Like, you believe, but you're still in that phase of like, wow, it's real. I've been saying, like, it's still like, wow. Like, I'm accepting it, right? I'm healing, I'm forgiving, I'm putting myself back out there, but it's like, in order to say that, that would mean that you have to admit that you were wrong. That would mean that you have to admit that you have done things to hurt people. People have hurt you, that you're not perfect. And there's that space, but it liberates you. There's a liberation here. It sets you free, and it allows yourself to give birth to something new. Look at that. 9 of Pentacles. It allows you to cultivate something else. For some of you, there's this, as far as like the occult and all of the mysticism and things like that, there's some skepticism. I feel like the skepticism is coming from the mysteriousness behind who who's out there that could be attacking you, right? Who's out there that can be putting spells on you and things like that, and what you dibble and dabble in, and how it could really backfire. There's all that energy because a lot of you are on this journey, but you're by yourself. So you don't really have a convent. You don't really have a church behind you. You don't really have a support group. So you're out here fending for yourself. So there is some concern around taking losses and taking L's. And I really believe that there's always going to be an enemy. There's always going to be a wolf in sheep's clothing. But what you really don't know, Taurus, is you're the wolf in sheep's clothing. When you really, really like remember who you are, who you authentically are, it's them that's scared of you. They're really scared of who you're becoming. And when I say they, I'm talking about a third energy. That third energy could be society. That third energy could be you pushing against the norm. That third energy could be a lot of different things. There's always someone watching. But you've been strategically placed in the world, given certain experiences to endure, almost cloaking you, where you blend in. Spirit is showing me that you were born to blend in only for a period of time so that you can grow, develop your magic, develop your mastery, and then you will be revealed to the world. So when they ask, why are you doing this? You don't need to know. You don't need to have an answer. Because you're following your north node, you're following your star, you feel that spiritual pull, you're attracted to certain things for a reason. You just got to keep following that dial, right? So When you don't have a church or you don't have a certain religion that you may practice anymore, for those of you that don't, let's say you're an independent agent out here, you're on your own. Spirit is saying you have to create the Bible. You have to create your rituals. You have to create your practices. You have to create your ceremonies. You have to create that. No one's going to wake you up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go pray because no one's taskmasting you. No one's making you go to church on every Sunday. So you have to be that person that does the due diligence for yourself religiously, ritualistically. All of those things is what spiritually fortifies you. And for some of you, what brought you onto this spiritual journey was third party energy. For some of you, it was because you were forced to give up on a relationship that you couldn't control, because you were forced to give in to a situation based off of what you were willing and willing not to do, what you weren't willing to do, or what you were willing to do with another person. But even though that was is what may have brought you onto your spiritual journey, that was only the beginning. So like I said, like Tam said, a breakup, a breakup, or whether it was you're looking for your soulmate and then someone told you that your soulmate was stuck with someone else, whatever the reasons were, it's becoming something more. And Spirit is saying for those of you where it's becoming something more, where you have a purpose now, you have a calling, your soul has been activated. So that person may have been the catalyst in your life, but the catalyst was preparing you for something greater. That soul that took you through that breakup, that soul that brought you down that path where you had to go through certain experiences, they were your catalyst and they fulfilled their job. Now the rest is up to you. So Spirit is really saying that it's time for you to develop your magic and your mastery, and it's time for you to really start applying the wisdom that you're receiving and cultivating off of that wisdom and putting yourself in a position to have the breakthroughs that you're meant to have. Essentially leaving your mark in the, like, this is like signing your signature in the universe. There go that Hierophant again. Yeah, Spirit's trying to get you to start talking about how you got over things, how you know, Spirit's trying to get you out of your own way. So Spirit is saying what you need to know is that it's time to get mad. Okay? Sometimes when you're so stubborn, or you can't really get out of your own way, or when you get over, I'm so over this, I'm so over this, I'm so over that, you're gonna have to like become like copper. All right, what does copper do? Copper is used as what? Don't get me to lying. Hold on. I know it's used with something with electricity, right? Am I lying? It's a word for it. What is, you see, even I have to use Google. So, copper metal is the giver of positivity and goodness, as well as the bringer of good luck and various endeavors. So, it also has healing properties. All right. It has magical attributes that allows the user to generate and manipulate the copper. It has healing properties. Okay, it's nutrient essential nutrients for the body. Enables the body to form red blood cells, help maintain healthy bones, blood vessel, nerves, and immune function. All right, so it's also an absorption. Okay, so it helps with absorption. Yeah, I think conduit. I was gonna say something like that, but I didn't want to be wrong. So y'all gonna have to teach me that one. Okay. See? So spirit is saying this is kind of how you're gonna have to use it. It's the Knight of Swords is the copper, the crystal, the metal, copper. Through this experience, what you've had to endure, whatever it is you had to get over the 4 of Cups, you're gonna have to use that as like your new belief system. Based off of my experiences, I went through those hard lessons. Can't nobody tell you what it's supposed to look like because many of you have gone through the shit yourself. Even if someone told you, oh, don't go that way, many of you come from the generation where you did it anyway. Regardless of your spirit guides told you not to do it, regardless of if your higher self told you not to do it, you did it anyway. You learned it, you experienced it. 8 of Wands, now it's time to give it a direction, and now it's time to use it as a conduit for healing. And the Knight of Swords is a speaker. Okay, using your words to speak. You can also be writing, typing, whatever it is, but spirit is saying it's time to speak up. It's time to use your voice. That's what you need to know. It's time for you to write that book. It's time for you to make that manual, that how-to guide. This is like really Hierophant energy. How to get over a man in 60 days or how to get over a woman. I don't know. Y'all gonna have to tell me how to deal with grief, how to overcome certain obstacles. So you can become like that wise counsel. Many of you guys are counselors, you're therapists, you even channel that energy with whatever you do with your hands. I don't care if you make resins, you mold things. You're still utilizing that energy and speaking with your words. Okay. So spirit is saying, um, yeah, because these third party energies, these enemies that are attacking you, right? These people that you can't trust, it like it breaks your spirit or something, or it makes you feel like, you know what? I give this up. I don't even care no more. It does something to you spiritually. And spirit is saying they're trying to hype you up, get you amped up, motivated, to stand back up for what you believe for, you know knowing when to surrender defeat and knowing when to fight. You got to be able to go back and forth and toggle between that energy and not be so stuck on just one aspect of it. So that's what they want me to tell you. And let's get your little animal totem card, and then we are going to open the chat. All right, so we got Heron, patience. And it says, create a place in nature's stillness and be renewed. Take time alone to find balance. Step confidently towards your purpose. Patience will bring you rewards. Yep, what I told you. Bottom of the deck, white stag. You are an old soul. Your best friend is nature. Use your intuition to take you where you want to go. Awaken to the powerful force within you. You are meant to create blessings with your magic. I told you everything Spirit just said, it just was like a confirmation or like a exclamation point, a period. Oh my God, water is so good. All right. So y'all bear with me. I really do not know how to use this software yet. So what we just did was what you needed to know from Spirit. And now we are about to jump into let's talk. Y'all, let's talk. So I'm going to drop, there is going to be a link inside of the chat. Okay. And after I share with you guys the download that I received, I really want to just learn from y'all today. Share with me your wisdom, whatever your perspective is. Because really, when I got the download this morning, it only left me with a lot of questions. And I felt like, what better place than to come to right here with fellow Taurians, and maybe we could put all of our minds together. Maybe there's something that I may not be able to receive in a message. You may receive in a message, or you may receive the clarity or see things from a different perspective. And I would love for you to have use this platform as a way to share that perspective, so that way whoever needs to hear it, if they come across it, you might have been the person to deliver that perspective. So so the download that I got, I saw a lot of, I won't really go into the visuals or the actual destruction that I witnessed. I don't want to focus on, let me rephrase that. My intention is to focus on what we can do, right? What we can do. And just open the dialogue and conversation around these matters, because this is the world that we live in. This is the world that we're creating. And just like when we have, died and crossed over, this is the world that we're leaving to the future generations beyond us, right? We will become ancestors one day. That's fact. We will. We will be on the other side reviewing this entire life one day. And there are descendants that are all around us right now that haven't even incarnated, and they are receiving their messages for when they incarnate and they have their assignments. So if you believe in that, then I feel like you may resonate with some of the downloads that I received. All right. So Spirit's message to me was that towards evolution, like we're heading towards a future that will be predominantly virtual in nature. I'm talking surrogates, right? Currently, right now, within our youth, we have children on TikTok, and they are on there for hours, and they are extremely engaged with technology more than we ever were in our generation. So if you are between the ages of 28 and 40 or however, we probably were around as that was like booming. Okay, technology, this is really revolved around technology and the use of that technology. Okay, so there's a visible disconnect. Okay, there's a visible disconnect between the old age, i.e. elders, right, and the new age, which is technology, um and in evolving, right? Evolving towards having access and all those things. But what we know on our spiritual journey is that where there's no balance, we can become addicted to so many things unbeknownst to us, right? It could go way off track. So when I say that, I'm referring to the source of wisdom. And if we are not the ones creating the source of wisdom for our youth, then who's giving it to them? What narrative are they being fed subconsciously, subliminally? If we're not the ones giving it to them, who are they receiving it from? And does that narrative promote? Does it promote them? Does it set them up towards anything, or does it set them up to fail? So these are the questions that I have. And when I say old age, I'm referring to, once upon a time we received our wisdom, right, from our elders. We used to sit by, go and listen to our grandparents, and they would tell us, you know, what happens when you go and sit at the corner store, what happens then? Or when they were younger, they used to do X, Y, and Z, and this is what happened to them. So that transfer of wisdom and guidance is no longer, it's almost like it's what they call that? It's almost extinct. Okay. It's like a dying thing, artifact. If you say that to someone between the ages, I don't know, 20 and younger, they're probably laughing like, "What? I am not finna go sit with that old person and talk to them about anything." That's what they're going to say. They're bored, they have a very short attention span, and they are not open to receiving any type of wisdom, knowledge, or understanding from the elders within their environment. And it's even harder to hold their attention because the moment you start talking, it's like, you're taking too long. It's too long. Like, they don't even really value the process of cultivating a story or sharing a story anymore. And when I'm referring to new age, I'm talking about, where majority of our youth receives their wisdom from is usually from online influencers, content creators, and people behind a screen. So in focusing on what we can visually see, the trend towards, um our youth is consuming a narrative, and the narrative that they're consuming has changed, right? I remember when I was a young girl, my parents were concerned about who you hung out with outside, right? As bad company, because those people could influence you. And next thing you know, you're doing things outside with them that you shouldn't be doing, right? When it came to my brothers, their concerns were not wanting them to end up on the street, getting into drugs and possibly selling drugs or hanging out with the wrong type of kids. Okay. Those were verbal exchange. Now kids don't want to go outside. Now kids struggle with wanting to even detach. They have an addiction to a device. Just like as adults, we have those same addictions. Kids have it too. But as far as the narrative, it's a lot easier to manipulate the mind of a child than it is an adult. And based off the image that you feed them between the ages of 1 and 5, it's locked in. It's there. It ain't going nowhere. So fear kept us from going outside. And then fear also kept us from experience, right? However, I do feel like fear is being fear is being projected on a screen at way more rapid rates online than it is outside, right? And really giving that fear to a child also helps manifest it, right? We're talking about the power of manifestation, the power of utilizing something that we may not want to acknowledge it, but it's real. Like if we can literally, what they said, what's that thing? I don't know what it was called. But if we can manifest and make a vision board, and that vision board will literally start to manifest into our life, but we're consuming so much digital propaganda, how do we know that we're not actually manifesting it every single day? So all of that I'm saying because evolution is inevitable, right? We cannot live in fear and take it away from them because this is the reality that they're going to be living, and they have to know how to thrive in their reality. Okay? So we can't take this away. But I really believe that as the bridge, we are the examples of what the narrative can be. We are the examples of what we want the narrative to be. So somewhere in between the old age of what we used to know and the new age of where we're headed, there's a bridge that is being like built, okay, that connects the two in a way where it's relatable, right? It's something that is guided. Okay. So instead of letting them walk right off a cliff, you're guiding them to the other side and you're giving them the tools and resources that allows them to be prosperous, where they will not be the consumers and they will be the creators of their reality. So I feel like spirit put it on my heart to really like in revealing all of those premonitions to me and different things like that. And again, it's not to perpetuate fear, but when it comes to prosperity and love, which is Taurian energy, if you're my age or you're between the ages of 28 and 40, we're the pioneers of assisting in that transition, not just for ourselves, but for the children that come after us, right? The descendants that come after us. So my question to you guys are this, because I feel like it's hard to get people my age motivated to do something. Like I could talk as people from sitting in this position that I'm sitting in. We could tell the same thing over and over again, right? You will receive the message, but to get you motivated to move and to take action in numbers. I'm talking about in numbers, you know, as a collective, right? As a collective, I'm new to this. Okay. I didn't even know what the hell a collective was or collective consciousness or any of that until 2021. It's 23. But from me sitting back and observing, I'm new to this. But apparently this has been going on. The collective energy and communicating what's going on in the collective has been shared every single day for years. But I don't see any change. You know? So, and when I say change, I mean as far as our age group, like in numbers. I'm talking about in numbers. So, I really want to know from y'all perspective, like why does our generation resist the old way of doing things? Like what's your story? Like what is your truth? How do you feel about the old age? If we could based off of how I described what I meant the old age was, like why do we resist the old age, yet we struggle to position ourselves as leaders? Okay. Beyond just ourselves. Because we'll get into manifestation just for ourselves. You know, I just want to do this for me. I just want to I want to make sure I'm good. So I consider that micro, right? Microeconomics, right? But from a macro level, from an economic level, there is really a spiritual thing going on. There's really a spiritual aspect or element to this entire thing that is there, you know? So Gullah said the old age was more ignorant. Okay. Politicians got involved. Politicians got involved with all we do to prepare us for what's to come, which is very, very, very bad. Okay. Katrina, what you mean? You said they don't believe fat meat is greasy. What? Come on now, like I got some speakers out there. I know I got some speakers out here. So if you want to jump on the chat with me, I'm gonna send a link, okay? And we could get into this conversation. Hold on, y'all. I meant to put the link. It's so special. I have no feelings about it. Everything isn't for everyone. Agree, agree, agree. I'm a rebel. I love uniqueness, all things. Agree, agree. Absolutely. I'm very rebellious. Let me tell y'all a little story, something about me. I have always been a knucklehead growing up. I'm that person that will touch the fire because you told me not to and that it was hot. You old school? You old school, Katrina? It's the ability to have knowledge of integrity and live your life to the fullest at the same time. Agree. Okay, so Tam, you say you're shy. Okay. So let me ask you, what makes you shy? Okay, we got someone. Let me see. Hold on, Meek. All right, so I'm gonna bring on Miki, Kyle, and we're gonna see what my brother have to say. Hold on a second. Let me split the screen so we both can be on here at the same time. Let me see? Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you.
Hold on one second. I think my volume. Is it my
Okay.
microphone? Hey,
Hey, blessings, Queen. Peace be unto you and much prosperity. You are a great leader.
thank you. How are you this evening?
Yeah, I'm all right. I can't complain. I just got off of work, so I'm a site
Hmm.
super. One time I sent a comment to you, and then I told you how I got blessed. Like right after I was listening to you, I got blessed with a job being a site super, making 119,000 a year. And
Whoa.
yeah, and then I'm a Taurus, and then you mentioned 777 a lot, and then I got three sevens in my birthday, so it seemed like I've been glued to your channel ever since.
You're exactly where you're meant to be.
Yes. Yeah,
Lessons.
you was talking about you was talking about our people, like as far as like what's going on with us today, right?
Yeah.
And then the people that was before us.
Mhm.
Well, it was something that I learned like coming up over the years, especially like the last 15 years.
Mhm.
I noticed that the people before us, we was in a time where financials was messed up, job placements was messed up. Whether even if you was in the streets, placements was messed up. So the leaders before us, they kind of suffered from a jealousy trait when it came to teaching the youth. So at that time of the youth being taught, it's like say if me and you was in that time and them times was rough, we
Mhm.
would keep the layers of the secrets to ourselves because we might lose our position in
Mhm.
life or whatever financial realm that we was in at that time. So
Mhm.
when that happened and then society changed, it got to the point like from a spiritual standpoint, the youth didn't even want to know from the elders, so they all start hanging amongst each other, teaching themselves. And then that was one of the things that happened with me.
Mhm.
I ended up teaching myself and raising myself. But then, after a while, like when you hit a certain age, you realize that you're trying to break generational curses. So then
Mhm.
I started changing my train of thought to try to get into a financial realm or a
Mhm.
corporate realm. And then that same energy that I had from my heyday, I used the emphasis of that energy and then I placed it into the work field. And then results in the work field started showing up. So what I do right now is I'm a site super. I'm a part of a minority company. And then we also got this program called Youth Construction Program.
Mhm.
So from that youth construction program, I do not hesitate to talk about my past and talk about how my past got me in trouble and then how it led me into construction. And I let them know that they greater than me because they chose to do youth construction, which is from the age of 17 to 21. They chose to get their life together at an early age. So that's my first step, letting them know that they greater than me.
That is awesome. Listen, I really want
Mm,
to as well. Like, I'm really into youth ministry. I'm really into giving back
yes,
to those that are going to come after us, um, and connecting them, especially with that's one of the things as well from my childhood. There's always been a lot of leaders that where it's been difficult to trust people in positions of leadership when those authority figures have exploited innocence, right?
yes, yeah,
Especially from a masculine or a patriarchal system. And I
yeah.
feel like having um just connecting with those that honor that integrity, right? And
Mm-hmm.
show up for the youth in that way, it's important to share that information um across all platforms,
Yes, yes, definitely.
and connecting you and other young males, you know what I'm saying, that need that guidance, because there are a lot of children that do not have role models
Yes,
from a masculine standpoint that are honoring that integrity around
yes,
being a good influencer and a role model.
yes. And then you know what? You telling 1,000% truth. And then when you speak about the patriarch, I take my history from an ancient of days standpoint. I don't do no modernized religion. But
Mhm.
I'm in tune with the sun, moon, and the stars. That's why I
Mhm.
listen to astrology
Mhm.
and I listen to tarot, and I only listen to it with women because the women got the gift of intuition.
Mm.
And then
Y'all
us
hear
as
that?
being, yes, and then us as being men, we get the power from the women when we take the gift of intuition to uphold order. So you ever seen 300 the movie?
No, I haven't.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna tell you, right. It was a scene, right, and there was this leader from the 300. His name was Leonidas.
Mhm.
So then the whole, it seemed like the whole Africa was like going up against him. So when one of the leaders came in and spoke to him, they said, "We don't want this to happen. We don't want you to go this far. We don't want you to go that far." He was listening and he kept saying, "Yes, yes, I understand," because he was trying to protect everybody. But he waited for his wife. When he looked out the corner of his eye, he seen his wife. His wife gave him a look that these leaders was dangerous. Once he seen the look on his face, he kicked that dude down a hole.
I gotta see this movie now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got to see it because it talks about how in the past we didn't make moves unless it was the woman. It's the same way when you look at in ancient Egypt, when you look at Amen and Mayat and
Mhm.
Khonshu, Amen didn't, he upheld order, but Mayat, she gave the 42 laws
Mhm. Mhm.
off of her intuition. So I always do things from an ancient of day standpoint, and then I know that the women have the right to speak. And then when society changed that or whatever went on the past 200 years, that's why we had a problem. But like when it comes to tarot, I even told my brother, when you look at the 1500s, the women, they did tarot. This is how the king survived
Mhm.
because they came to talk to that woman. It's the same way even when you look at the Bible, you know what I'm saying? You would see that Saul went to a woman to bring back Samuel so that he could get some advice. But that's a totally broadband, that's a bigger
Mhm.
broadband situation. But I don't want to hold up your time because I know you might have others on online waiting to speak to you, whatever the case may be. But I will be tuning in on your show, and I will be looking for when you have live chats once again. And empowerment is everything, and blessings and peace be unto you because you's a queen. And keep
Thank you
leading.
so much. And I really want as well, please share with me. You can email it to me so I can put it on my community tab. Um,
Yes.
your what you do for the youth as well.
Okay, all right, definitely, definitely. I will email you. So it will be in the chat or your videos, your channel. So how
Yes,
will I see it?
it's going to be talk Taurus tarot
Okay,
at gmail.com.
all right. Say no more. So I'll definitely holler. Empowerment is
Definitely.
everything.
I
All
appreciate you.
right.
Thank you for breaking the ice for me. I love it.
Yes, yes, that's important, man. The elect leads by design. That's what we do.
I appreciate you so much.
All right, same here. Enjoy your night.
You too.
Blessings.
Blessings. All right, you guys. Shout out to I think it's Mikael or Mikiel. If I say your name wrong, forgive me. I truly appreciate you coming on here and breaking bread with me, and sharing that for anyone else that come across it. I think it's awesome what you're doing for the youth. I think it's awesome how you are giving back in those ways with your experiences. And any if you guys, if you're doing the same too, please share it. It does wonders. You never know who might need it. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. Again, I'm just here. What did Crystal say? I was trying to read Crystal's comment to see if I missed anything. We will respect them when we are younger. As we get older, they think we are still kids and we got our own mind now, but we got old. We want the same in return if they can't help them. That is so true. That is so true. That is something that I would say my mother personally has gotten a lot better. My mother has 10 children altogether. My mother and my father had 12. So I'm the eighth child out of 12 children. Um, I didn't grow up religious per se. Growing up, we followed the doctrine of following the laws of the Bible. I grew up on the King James version. If anyone, shout out to anyone that grew up on the King James version. It's still something that I feel I needed to have the experience or the background in. I also grew up in the nation of Yahweh. My grandfather is Yahweh ben Yahweh. He was a founder and a leader of the nation of Yahweh in Miami, Florida. I am his granddaughter. However, I have embarked on my own path outside of the nation. And through that process, it has been a blessing. It's been a blessing to be able to step into my own purpose and step into my own birthright. Um, in the beginning, there's always apprehension, right? There's always apprehension for whatever it is that you beliefs that you grow into, however like your horizon expands. Um, but I know for sure my journey of wisdom, philosophy, um, embarking on multiple different perspectives of belief, cultures, that's always been in me. And I feel like even from my grandfather's perspective, before he embarked on he being a Hebrew Israelite, he went through every different religion. He studied Buddhism, he studied Hinduism, he studied Christianity. He grew up um, in Christianity. So it's never, I feel like a lot of times the titles of religion and what group you stem from comes with its own level of stigmas of what you should or shouldn't be doing. And then it creates a lot of different boxes, right? Boxes that we then put ourselves in because it's like repping for a certain group, right? Once you decide that you're this, then you got to rep for it. So I've always been that type of person where I don't need I don't need a title. I don't need a I don't need a ring, I don't need a title, I don't need validation, right? That I know what I'm saying or I know what I'm doing. That north node for me is always, you can't see it, it can't be touched. That's the only thing that I feel like we all can relate to, is like that spiritual guide within you is something that no one can tamper with, right? No matter what you've been through or what type of belief system you grew up in, that's like that part of your soul nobody can touch. That is what I would describe as the soul, right? Your higher self is really gonna always kick in. And that's what really drew me into different modalities like trying Reiki and quantum healing and really just stretching the perspective. I feel like every single day is an opportunity to stretch that perspective and share that perspective, regardless of what anyone may believe or feel. And I feel like a lot of times people want to know what you identify as so they can feel like they found the right way. I feel like people are always seeking for truth, and that's just a natural human thing. Is I'm searching for truth. I'm searching for the right thing to do, but really, there's no right thing to do. Is I feel like morality is something that's broad. All right, your morals and your values, those things may have been given a title by society, right? Growing up, we're taught what those morals and values should look like. But eventually, as we become adults and we become responsible for ourselves on our journey, it's our responsibility too to start giving it a new meaning. And I feel like that's where we are on our journey in a lot of ways, is deciphering and discerning what those values are going to mean based off of your journey. You know what I'm saying? Individually. But it still ties back into, no matter how individual we are, we're still connected in so many ways. And I feel like that's the aspect that is mother nature. Being able to see that we all come from the same source, regardless of you know, what group we identify with. You know what I'm saying? What our sex or our gender is, we still come from the same source and we're still living expressions of that. So, if you guys don't have anything else that you want to share, I will not hold y'all all night. Hi, Cora. Yes, I am not. I don't believe in one religion myself. So Crystal said the realign is about both originally male and female equal as a religion. Crystal, I'm not really sure What you mean by that? Help me out, sister. Hey, Lala. Yeah, if you want to join, you can still join. You can still join. Here, I'm going to put the new link down here. Hold on. My nails won't cooperate. Good night, cool. I appreciate you as well. Okay, so we have two people. We're going to start with Des and then Lala. So,
I did not sign up. But I didn't
hi, Des.
know
What's
what was
up?
going on.
How you doing?
I'm good.
How you doing this evening?
I'm good.
So
I
we're just
don't
talking.
know if can you hear
If
me.
you knew, if have you been on the whole live, or you just coming in?
I was at work. I seen the link and I just clicked it, and voila, now I'm here.
Okay, so let me just
With
give you a little backstory. What we're talking about? We just talking about in general, whatever perspective you have. I was asking a question like, pretty much. What was my question? Like with our generation, how old are you? If you don't mind me asking. Huh?
37.
Okay, you're 37. So with our generation, right? This age group, I was saying between the ages of 28 and 40, right? When it comes to like banding together and sharing perspectives and really taking initiative, right, to utilize your own life experiences and share that with the world. So this way our youth that comes after us would have like a narrative, like they'll have more than one face, you know what I'm saying, representing whatever narrative or that we want them to have versus them just being told statistics or the status quo of what life is supposed to look like. I know a lot of that is already being done from the perspective of, artists, music, genre. Those things are naturally happening, but there's more than one person living a normal life that isn't sharing, or you know what I'm saying, they're not really putting themselves out there on the forefront to be on the real chopping block for social media. So my question was, um, why is it that there is this struggle to like take this position of leadership?
Mm. So it's like for personal, for like for
From your
me
perspective, like
personally.
yeah, of course, from your personal perspective.
Um, think about like well, I'm shy, like definitely shy, and like
Mm-hmm.
I know I have a lot to say myself. and that's been a journey of me trying to figure out why, especially with me being a black gay male. So,
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of, like for me, it's being shy
Mm-hmm.
and pressure, like all that pressure put on you
Yeah, yeah.
to try. It's Then I'm also a track and field coach, so I lead by example as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, because I coach high school girls. I don't know. I think
Well, I
it's
feel like you
different
said I feel like you said a lot just sharing that. Like that's a lot even in itself. Like what I'm hearing is from your personal experience, you are you're already doing it, right?
yeah,
You're already
pretty good.
doing it from that perspective with the track and field and things like that. Um, and like that's exactly what I was meaning. Like it is happening already, but it's the connection with other people doing the same thing is not really connecting. And you were explaining like there's that level of shy energy, right?
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
shy energy comes from as well, would you agree, from just knowing how cruel, right, people's perspective of you is could be just doing
Yeah,
something good. You know what I'm saying? And it's not right.
yeah.
It's not beneficial in any way, but it does stem from something. You know what I'm saying?
I agree
So
with that.
do you feel like do you feel like is it something where you want to overcome shyness?
And
Definitely. I mean,
I
you're
just
doing it right
that.
now.
Yeah, that's one. Ballroom as well. I don't know if you're familiar with ballroom. And in order for me to compete or be tipsy, I wish that there was a way that I could
Mm,
just not have to drink to
right.
be more self-expressive. Even though, like if I'm trying to do songs, well, if I have to perform, I encourage instead of just showing like just being myself. Well, that is like without the barriers, like.
Yeah.
But I don't know. One day, I hope we can figure it out.
Like I
Take me
said, you're
there.
doing it right now.
Yeah,
Are you under liquid courage?
true. I literally just got off work. That's
Okay,
why I
so
look
no
so
liquid
sleepy.
courage. Okay, okay.
I just seen you. I was listening to you. I had you in my pocket at work, of course. And then when I got
Mhm.
ink, so I tapped it. I didn't know this what it was. I swear I didn't know. I literally just walked into the. I see you pop up on the camera. I'm like, oh shit, what I'm doing? Yeah, well, we here
Listen,
now. So
that is dope. I'm glad that you clicked it. I'm glad that you decided to put your face out there. And I look
looking
forward to
rough.
seeing you next Friday. And next
Yeah,
Friday.
yeah.
And
Definitely.
if I could do anything for you, it would be to help
You
you
help
get
a
over
lot
that fear.
with a lot. Ever since I came across your channel, you help a lot, a
I'm
whole lot.
grateful.
I catch it. I always try to send a little $5.99 thanks. As much as I always catch it late because
I
I'll be at
appreciate
work.
you. I
So
appreciate you. That says a lot. I'm grateful. I'm
yeah, I
humbled.
appreciate you
Um,
too, for real. Like you really made me figure out instead of trying to play victim, like as much and a lot of stuff that I receive, like you made me realize that for real.
I feel good. I feel good. This is my why. This is my why to connect with you and share that with you because I've been shy before.
Yeah,
And I believe that you are capable of moving, like you said, beyond needing to, you know, get yourself there. But I can see it already. Like you meant for greatness.
yeah.
You meant for greatness. I wouldn't expect nothing less from you.
That's what
Okay.
I
Okay.
appreciate it.
I, tap in. You got to tap in and agree, okay?
Yeah, definitely. For
I appreciate you coming on here, sharing love with me, and sharing your story as well. Keep
no
doing what you're
problem.
doing.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna let Lala jump on next, and I'm gonna see you
All
again
right.
Friday, right?
I got you.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna be like,
All
where he
right.
at?
All
Okay,
right. I
bye. All right, see you soon. Okay, I got my girl Lala and then Miss CJ. Hey girl, how you
Good morning. Good morning.
doing? Good
So
morning.
my cat. Um,
Look at you. Hello, beautiful.
good I don't know. It's kind of like a list. I started watching
Mhm.
your page, and sometimes this thing with tarot, but I didn't know much, about it and everything like that. But to me, you help me, you guide me. Um, it's just the way like that, and you speak it. It's like you just break it down a certain way. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like you just understand. Then it's also that you acknowledge God. You know what I mean? So that helps. I don't know. I could just feel it. I could just feel it, and it's just so crazy because at times, you know, and yeah. So sometimes I would literally will skip over the video, right?
Mhm.
That's over it, and but it'll keep coming back. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch because every
Yeah.
time, and I don't like that. It's not that I don't like it. I love it, but I be
Mhm.
definitely need. It's definitely so helpful. But I'm a little nervous. But anyway, my perspective about like the kids and stuff like that. Like I have a
Mhm.
17-year-old. I don't know. I just kind of try to let him be him. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? I just I just started seeing like probably within the past few years, and understanding. You know what I mean? We're just a ball of energy, literally.
Right.
Um, and I say, I think a lot of people get caught up on relations the way you were brought in, and that's the family you were brought into.
Mhm.
That you do something it's really not.
Mhm.
We were sitting here for a reason. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So, and he gave us free will, choice.
Mhm.
So and we have to study so that we know. You know what I mean? Because he
Mhm.
said, what's he said? We lack. We pay. So like if we don't know, it's good to know things, but it's like a discernment type of thing. It's good to know, but it's not. It may not be for you. You're not supposed to do it, but it's good to know about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Come over here on YouTube and get into the videos. It just grounds me because sometimes I feel like the world is loud
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I get here and I get my spot and
Mhm.
I'm going. The other day, you was talking. I was like, oh my freaking goodness! I knew I loved her for some reason.
Mhm.
And then it was like kind of like you opening up. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I always resonates. Um, and I don't know. I just basically learned from just being a part of it and seeing the growth. So congratulations for
Definitely,
that too.
definitely. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm probably one of the ones that probably like don't hurt. Um, but I guess people do gotta know or whatever. Sometimes you like yourself, but it's not fair. So,
mhm.
but so I start. What's for them is for them. You know what I mean? They come across the path, and the people that
Definitely, they will. They will
so.
definitely. They're always gonna be. I feel like all of us, just like us, they're always gonna have guides. They're always gonna be
Mm-hmm.
guided and things like that. Um, that is like a fact. I'm sure, like, from my perspective in my personal childhood, if I could think back, I don't know, I've always had this, like, this inner knowing, despite any perspective that was ever given to me, that I was gonna do what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And I never doubted that I was gonna be okay. I'm talking about when I was, how old was I? I think I was 16. I got on a bus and rode all the way, the Greyhound, all the way to Minnesota. And I didn't tell nobody. Like, that's the type of mindset. I had no fear. You know what I'm saying? I
Funny.
don't think I ever really experienced the
I
feeling of fear until I had a child. I feel like the moment that I had a child, that was the first time where I actually experienced that feeling of, oh my God, I cannot control this person. You know what I'm saying? I cannot protect this person. They are literally out of my hands. And as a
right.
Taurus, for me, not being able to do that,
Uh-huh.
it was scary. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And and then I had that journey of my children. Two of my children have sickle cell. So I have that situation of unpredictable illnesses, right? So on that journey as well, it broke me down even more, where I really went on this journey of, like, I can't even control their life if they're going to live tomorrow. That's another layer of fear. And so, I just had, for 8 years, constant conversations in the hospital. I'm like, God, like, why would you give me something to guide, to love, to take care of, and I can't even control that anything that I could do is going to guarantee them life. So it was
Right.
a very intense, humbling experience, but at the same time, it made me very aware that how important it is to enjoy every day of life. How important it is to really allow yourself to experience it, despite in the back of your head there's a possibility of a million and one things.
Yeah.
So I do know one of the things that I felt as a mother being inside of the hospital alone was, I wouldn't want that for anyone, you know? And in that space, I wasn't able to articulate that I needed someone. I was very cold. I was very angry. So in a lot of ways, just if I went through that experience, there are millions of mothers or women or anyone in general for that matter that needs to know that they're not alone. So that is what kind of gave me a sense of purpose, where I felt like I knew I wasn't called to experience those things for nothing. And it, over time, it shifted my perspective, but it really encouraged for me being involved every day as a parent. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Being involved and experiencing laughter with my children. That is, like, for me, that is so important. Um, and I've met a lot of children in the hospital, and they sit there and there's no parents because their parents have to work. They have to work. They have to clock in, and they're in the hospital with cancer. Um, so it, me and my daughter, we would go in their rooms and color with them, but they have to sit there for hours by themselves, and that's the harsh reality behind the fact that we still got to provide for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, think about it. We want to be with our kids, but we got to provide for them.
A friend of mine told me I'm so literal. It's just like you said. Once you have your child, it's like that's it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
once you have your child, that's you. Because I don't know. Sometimes when you be like a portal. For me, I feel like the woman is the portal. So in kids, we were just their portal.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's up to them to say it alone. Because sometimes when people say alone, they intertwine it with it being negative. Alone and lonely is two different things. You understand? So I feel like when children come into this world, they were brought not really up to us. We did our job by the day when we had them. You know what I mean? Now, our life lessons and everything through them, because that's when the feelings are. When we have our children, like our emotions and everything start to change. You know, we just gotta remember that we're just a portal, and we still also have to worry about us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we do. I do feel like there is a healthy balance between the two, because a lot of times not being able to control those things will also make us emotionally detached, where we will justify the fact that they don't belong with us as a means to allow ourselves to continue not feeling a connection. And the reason why we don't feel that connection is because we didn't have it with our parents. So that can also be a disassociation with our own creation, because they really are a part of us. They're a fragment of us.
Yeah.
So it's a healthy balance between realizing, yeah, they don't belong to us, but at the same time, they were given to you for a reason. You know, whether that was just to be there to say hi every day. Because there was this quantum healing session, I think it was 2 years ago. And during the quantum session, one of the clients, she in her quantum healing, she went to a past life that was affecting her in this lifetime. And in that past life, she was in a burning house with her child, right? And in that lifetime, she ran, and she left the child in the room. She left the child in the house, and the house burnt down. And she ran and saved herself, right? But her purpose in that lifetime was to just stay in the house and not leave the child alone. So she felt her purpose in that lifetime. And it was afflicting her in this lifetime, where she didn't feel, she was feeling like she had done something wrong, and there was a problem with her connection with her child, and they reincarnated it in this lifetime, but it was like her, instead of it being a daughter, it was her son in this lifetime. But the purpose in that lifetime, she was meant to die, but she wasn't meant to let the child die alone. So that's just a hypothetical situation, because quantum healing is subjective to people, right? But it does stretch like that thought of, sometimes we may not understand why we come here, and what that birth contract is like, and what they're meant to fulfill. And sometimes your parents are meant to be your villain.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's different for every person. So that's why I feel like it's so cool to just share different perspectives.
And like you said, it's sometimes, that's why I said sometimes people fall because of your mother. In the book, it just says to honor thy mother and thy father. That's pretty much, make sure you just honor them. You don't have to like how they this or how they do that, or you don't have to. That's none of your concern. All you says to honor them. That's pretty much where.
I appreciate you jumping on here, Lala.
No problem. Thank you.
And
Follow. So.
I look forward to seeing you in the comments too.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. It's like either I'm gonna leave a whole paragraph, or I'm not. Like so much, because sometimes, like when you're doing the video, it's like having a conversation with you, like literally sometimes. But
yeah, for sure.
Thank you for listening and following you know, your intuition and everything, just your spirit.
Thank you, Lala. I love you, girl. I
Love
appreciate you.
you too. Have a great
You too.
time. Thank you.
Right, right. All right. So up last we got Miss CJ. Lovely CJ in the house.
You gonna make me get on this camera, TT?
Yes, love. I want to see your beautiful face.
Okay, that's fine. Just for
Hey.
you. Hi.
It's
This is
good to meet
Joanna.
you.
Likewise. Okay, here I am.
Wait,
Stop playing with you.
did you email me? Okay. I'm like, now I got a face too. Now I know who you are. Sometimes I
Right.
begin clickbait on there too. So I'm glad I
Yes,
get to put a face to your name.
I am Christina Jesuitis. I am number 55. I am the one that has been.
I'm glad I got to meet you, girlfriend. For
Oh,
real.
likewise, TT, you have no idea. You have like no idea for real.
I'm like, I know she. I said this. She gotta be one of my soul tribe, okay? Just the
That
way
part.
she
Check this out. I was seeing you every day, right? I'm like, why she know? Why she know? She know though. You see what I'm saying? She
Mm-hmm.
knows. She knows. It's like, yes, game on, baby. Game on.
Yes, all day.
Happy to be here. So happy to be here. Okay. Yes. I know. You see, I keep moving my camera. I don't like the camera. Me and the camera
That's
are not
okay.
friends.
That's okay. We working through it together.
Okay.
Listen, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a little secret, okay?
Okay. Please do.
I used to be a makeup artist.
Oh,
Hmm.
fun.
I used to do weddings,
Okay.
and I saw. Wait, I used to be Slave Face K. So
No.
for about 3 years, I was a traveling makeup artist, and I did weddings and I did personal like bookings,
Nice.
and I used to wear makeup like crazy. I felt like I lacked the
Baby, your
confidence.
face is gorgeous. I'm sorry, I don't
No,
mean
but
to
here I'm
interrupt
gonna tell you.
you.
I'm gonna tell you. So
Okay,
for a
okay.
long time, I would make tutorials, right? But I felt
Mhm.
like I had to put something on in order to be in the camera. I didn't like the camera,
Mm.
and you would never know now.
No.
But there was a point in time where I had to have it. I mean, I do it for fun, you know, when I want to. There's nothing wrong with it. But I don't have
Mhm.
anything against it. I love makeup. It's still art forms to me.
It's
But
fun.
I know that feeling that you're describing, and it's making me think back where I was like, "Oh no, I gotta do my face." You know what I'm saying? I gotta be ready.
Don't, yeah, don't, no, don't do me. This is
Yeah.
blackmail. You can't just be catching me off guard like this.
Yes. And then I'm like, "Uh-huh, yes, you do." Spirit
So,
told me, I was like, "Okay." That's what really took me so long because I was trying to find a software where I could do it. Spirit said, "No, put them on let them get on themselves." And I said, "Okay."
you so nice.
So when we
You know
pull
I
up them
love you too, for
cards,
real. Oh my gosh.
because I know
Yeah.
there's some tarot readers on here too. So when we pulling cards and we working together as a community, you gotta be. This is practice.
It's all learning.
All
I'm
learning.
telling you. Oh my goodness. You can see what my notes look like. You like, I think
Don't worry. It's raw. It's raw. I
yes,
love it.
it's awesome. Oh my gosh. You understand. It's like it's that part. Like everything be so on point. I'm just like, she's talking to me, but does she know she's talking to me? I think she knows she's talking. Like, I think she knows. That
This is
cannot
if
be
I
that.
could
It cannot be.
describe, let me see if I could describe how it happens. It's like you ever saw that toy when we were younger? It's like you look through this like goggle thing and you flip the
Yes.
that's
Oh,
what it's
oh.
you know what I'm
The
talking
little click
about?
and you'll click
And
and it
it'll
would
show like
frame
different
and
things.
change.
Yes, like the
Yeah.
film. That is
Girl,
what
I'm
it
40. I am 40 years old, TT.
stop lying.
Girl, ma'am.
You like a baby.
No, you look like a baby. You're
Oh,
gorgeous out there.
You look like a baby, so beautiful. Oh my God.
Thank
Right.
you. I'll be talking about you too. Look at my daughter. I'm like, my daughter, look at her curls, girl. She be got the curls be banging, girl. You feel
Get
me?
it.
That be you. I see you. I see you.
You too.
Thank you.
Y'all don't
This,
mind. We just being a little goofy. Okay.
I
I'm
apologize. Look, that's Taurus all day. Look, I'm a Taurus Sun. So it's
yeah.
all there. It's all there.
Hmm.
I'm so gracious for you.
I'm so happy that to finally meet you. I really feel um yeah, that's what it feels like, man. Like when I'm reading, like sometimes y'all see me like close my eyes and stuff. It's because I'm like seeing a trailer and I'm trying to catch it. And I'm like, I know I'm gonna look crazy. And then but I just stopped caring, you know? I just stopped caring.
I'm trying. Like so me and the camera are working on a relationship. I literally had to talk to it like it's the third person here. Like,
Hmm.
camera, I don't like you. We're not friends, but we're working on this relationship. And we're gonna get it together.
We're gonna work on it.
We'll get it together. Cause we're a team. We're a team. So I'm gonna get there, TT. I'm going to get there. Cause
You already doing it. You already doing it. I be over there like, what's his name? Omarion. Right before I hit play on the camera, like, nope, nope,
okay.
nope. And then sometimes I just press and I just be like, hi. Sometimes you gotta just put yourself in a predicament.
You know
Just
what? Outside of the comfort zone, like you said, yes.
yeah.
I'm here.
Yes, you are
Spirit.
here. So I want to know your perspective. I want to know,
Yes.
um, from your personal life experience.
Well, I was saying I was the rebel, right? That was me.
Yes, yes. From your personal life experience, take me through. You don't have to get into detail about your personals, whatever you feel guided to talk about. But
Okay.
what was like the pivotal thing that from your experience where you could say that there was that break in really feeling like you wanted to take with you any old traditions or
Well,
perspectives?
you know, I mean, I think it happened around teenage.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to break things. I mean, not break things like that, but I just wanted to be outside of the box. I never
Yeah.
wanted to be a follower. I never wanted to do what everybody else was doing or be the average. I wanted to be above average, or I wanted to be the unique one, but
Mm-hmm.
not famous, not noticed. You see what I mean? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, like behind
Like,
the scenes
I'm
a little
that
bit.
one golf girl over there in the
Mhm.
corner who would
Yeah.
never thought of being a golf girl. I'm that one nerd girl over there in the corner that nobody's paying attention. That would have been me.
Yeah.
Like, in every room, she's in drama, she's in art, she's in choir, she's in band, she's in sport,
Mm.
she's this, she's that, all over the place, but in the background.
Yeah.
Cause, but you know what I mean? And so that's kind of where I developed like that incognito spirit. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, okay, I'm floating back here, just watching
Yes,
everything.
I know that. I know
You know,
that.
that's how I felt. That's what I was like. So I never wanted to bring myself into a spotlight to be like, this is where you're gonna see me. Now you're gonna see me. I've got all this information, gathered all this, I've blended into every crowd. I've sat there and
Mhm.
tried every aspect of everything. And so I think that was maybe around like, okay, I was square enough to like, I used to cut school to go to Barnes and Nobles. Barnes and Nobles used to be a spot. I don't know about y'all. That was the spot back in the day. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I could still go to Barnes and Nobles and I would be reading books like, okay, just no disrespect to anyone and blessings by the way to everyone. But
Mhm.
I was reading books like Jesus and Buddha are brothers or stuff
Mhm.
like that. Or I'll be reading on my zodiac because I was always so confused and conflicted. Because I'm like, I'm on a I'm on a cusp, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I never could determine if I was an Aries or a Taurus because my birthday's on the 21st.
Mhm.
And then when I started reading deeper and now I got older and then natal charts started coming out, I was like, now all of this is starting to make so much sense. Where was all this back when I was like when I was cutting school? I was like 16, 15, trying to figure it all out. I literally decided to get saved, went to
Mhm.
church, like got a deep relationship, like a spiritual. I started feeling things spiritually. But
Yeah.
I always knew that I was different. from what I
Mhm.
was. And I later found out that what my church was teaching me, I believed something completely different the whole
Mhm.
time.
Right,
I
right.
was like, that's crazy. Like, they're
Mhm.
teaching me this. And all this time, I believed that I was being taught something completely different. Do you understand? I'll give you an
Yeah.
example. Apostolic Church, but they're trying to teach me. They're teaching me like, oh, and again, no disrespect to any religions, but they're
Mhm.
teaching me Jesus and God were the same. In my mind, I was like, no, Jesus and God are two different.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking that's what they're teaching me. Do you see what I'm saying? So what I
Yeah.
believe was what I was receiving.
Right,
And
right.
I had no clue that they're giving me something else until I got older. That's what I had to turn around, was just like, that's how deep this is. This is how deep it's
Yeah.
really good. And I always had a difference. I knew, I was like, you know what? I wanted to be different, not only because I wanted it so badly, it was meant for me to be
Right,
different. I
right.
meant to be different. I was
Exactly.
always offset. And I didn't know how to embrace it back then. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like, I would reject it so much. I had so much self-esteem issues, confidence issues, and that's something I had put in the chat. Was just like, my parents weren't teaching me how to be confident, just
Mhm.
self-sufficient.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that made me just like, well, I want to do something different.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the difference was. You see what I mean? I didn't know what
Yeah.
it was. I was like, I'm gonna try everything to figure this
Yep,
thing
yep.
out. Yeah, and I was like, what is it? Should I do this? Read on that? I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna experience this person. I'm gonna try that and smoke this
Mhm.
week, smoke that. I'm
Right,
gonna
right, right.
do like have a couple drinks, bones, things like that. You know, I'm gonna do some things, try
Yes.
some different things. And it took for me to go through that with the hard
Mhm.
headedness of a Taurus. I may have had to go through a couple times. Guilty to say the
You only get better like fine wine, okay? That's how
least.
that's what I say.
I take it.
That's
Yes, I
what I
do. Now I walk around proud to be 40, proud to say the things that I say, proud that when people approach me, they approach me with a certain manner. I don't
Right.
have to demand it like I used to. I walk in
Mhm.
it. So
Right.
they come to me with a certain respect now. I don't have to say anything. That's new.
Mhm.
That's new.
So
That
how did you um share with me? How were you able to, if you could think back to like on your journey, what was that pivotal moment where you were able to like really feel like, you know what? I have nothing else to prove. You know what I'm saying? Like that where you were able to see like I've really been only in competition with myself really. Cuz really the things that we want to experience is really to confirm something for ourselves, right? Like you were
yes,
saying, you weren't being given
I was an
that.
overachiever, and I'm still
Mhm.
that.
Right, right,
Yes.
right. So
Yes.
at that point, but I could see, right, where at some point um I could feel like there became a settled energy in you where you became settled with the reality that I don't have nothing to prove,
Yes. It was a
you know?
release.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
feel that. I feel like you had a moment where you were able to release
Mm-hmm.
that
I start to
pressure.
see,
Okay.
ooh, the things I started to see, it turned things around. Like, because I was
Mhm.
speaking things. So I was saying things like, you don't know what you're doing to me. You shouldn't be doing these things to me. You don't know
Mm.
who I am. And I would say that out loud, unknowingly who I'm speaking to or what entities I'm speaking toward.
Right,
Right.
right.
And then I start to identify them, speak on them, rebuke them. Girl, when I like, there's some things that
Yes.
was happening. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. We're good
Right.
here. Let me digress. Let me get this together. Is this really happening? So it was those kind of things. And I was in the
Yeah.
storm, in the midst of it. And what's so odd is the same what I was receiving was being told straight to me by the person that was hurting me the most, was telling me exactly who I was. And I
Wow.
I
I'm
started
getting
to get it. I was
chills,
like,
girl.
oh, I'm so serious though. You understand? Like, that's what made it change. I was like, you're right. And then I released this, you are right. I was like, that's when I started to change. Like, you don't know who you're talking to. You think you know, but you don't. And I was like, you're telling me, oh, the person that everyone never thought would be this person usually turns out to be that. Oh, is that right? It's funny you'd say that to me. He's like, and I think that. And I'm like, oh, you think that about me? But that, at the same time, you want to break me. There's a reason for that. I started to see past all of it. Like, I was like, I'm not dealing with this man in his flesh anymore. Now I'm dealing with something way bigger than this. That's trying to break it. A bigger aspect that's trying to break something down that's big. And I was like, okay, all right. So when I started to call it out, it started to break things down. It got harder, got worse. And then you said a lot of I've been listening to you now. You've been, oh my goodness. Like you so much confirmation in your messages. There was a point where Spirit was like, I'm going to make it happen. This is going to run. This is going to go. I was like, okay, look, my hands are up. I'm not going to, I have no more, nothing
I'm
to
not
say.
fighting. I'm not fighting.
Exactly.
I'm a traveler. I'm a traveler.
And that's spiritual spankings. I'm just passing through. I didn't see nothing. Like, but it taught me so much because he was telling me that this could be what's happening. This could be what's going on. I'm like, it is. This is a spiritual warfare. This is what's going on with you. I started telling him what was happening. I mean, the like literal physical, the things that he was feeling on his body. There's things that it was crazy. Yeah, it would get to physical things that we would see, hear. The illusions and delusions were so real that
you ever
I had no
experienced?
choice. Go ahead, I'm
You,
sorry.
oh no. I
And then I thank you for your energy and your capacity, by the way.
Oh yes, you did.
Just making sure, because it's a lot, honey. It's a lot. I'm just
Have you ever felt like in connection with certain people that you were able to, where like energy would use other people to get to you, like through your relationships or people closest to you? Have you ever felt like energy or entity was trying to draw closer to you and using people to do that?
I felt the energy was working directly.
Mm-hmm.
It's being seen by him. See, the thing is he was exercising gifts, or his gifts were being brought to his attention, but in a way that was tormenting to him. And so as he's seeing them, because of what he's going through and what we've experienced with each other, it was tormenting for him. And so me being empathetic, I'm there, and it was people, places, things. Do you hear me? People, places, things. The walls, TT. The couch, TT. The vehicle. Do you hear? Everything. There was nothing absent. This is when I knew, I was like, this is outside of everything that anyone that could experience in this actual, form.
Yeah.
It has to be outside of this. Has to be outside of this. And so when I was experiencing this with this man. Yeah. And it brought me to that understanding, like, this is who I am. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And then when I got to that point where I realized while I'm going through this with this person, why I was going through it, I didn't know how to get out. Now I'm here. I know what I'm supposed to be here for. I know what I'm getting out of this. How do I get out of it? And finally, like you said, Spirit made a way. Oh, we're going to have a way. When I tell you, like, an angel came in and said, out of nowhere, came to my house on the day that a confrontation was happening. Confrontation made it outside to the street never came back. Like that. That's, do you hear what I'm saying? Spirit said, I said, you're done. It's done. It's over. And ever since then, when I tell you, I've been using so much of that energy, building my home, building my relationship with my two daughters. We have two shared daughters. We have also a third daughter that's eldest. I've been in her life for years. Like, that building relationship, oh my goodness, it taught me so much. It helped me see me and see what I lacked and what
Mhm.
I wanted. It helped me realize my why. I was like, I kept saying this is my why, but it made me see it. It was like, if that's what your why is, you're gonna show me. Spiritually, you showing me. I said, okay. Cause we facts bullies out here. You said you
Yeah, yep.
we bull
You
bullies
gotta
for facts.
prove it. You gotta prove it to. You gotta prove it to a Taurus. It's
That,
all talk
you
until
can't
it
just
you can't deny it.
say.
It's all
See?
talk, so you can't deny it.
Exactly. And so it took the things that you discussed, like it took for me to go through the long suffering, understanding my own lack of self-love. And then how much I was, and I went back and apologized to my ex-husband and said, me lacking love for me gave lack of love to you. And I'm sorry for that. And it
Oh,
would have been different. Yeah, because it could have been different. And I
that's
realized
grow.
that
That's grow.
it's hard. TT is hard. Okay.
That's grow. The leaps
Thank
and bounds that are gonna come from that. Just the doors opening, just for yourself to be able to release. Like there's still more that wants to be released. I feel that,
is
but I
you
don't
talking
get
it
this
tonight. I was like,
sensation. I don't get this sensation that you're holding back from it,
yeah. No, okay.
which is the best position to be in.
It feels good. It's
You're not
so
allowing it to make you bitter.
no, not anymore.
That's
It was getting there. Trust me, because
yeah.
that
It
corner was
heavily
not
goes that
looking
way.
good. Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
This
Facts.
is true.
That corner was looking real drab, real drab. So I need a little sunshine. I need to do something. I'm gonna have to push somebody out of it, and so I had to push me out of it, and I'm
Yeah.
glad. I'm so grateful because
You're
now,
doing
and
an
I got to
amazing
tell you,
job.
oh, thank you so much because
You are.
it's been a journey. It's an amazing journey now, still
Mhm.
right now, even more so because now it's just like it just keeps coming in. I'm like, ooh, that vision board is going up. TT, wait till I share my vision board next time, Kate.
I can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Because you're gonna be like, girl, what are you doing? You come on, just twinkle,
I'm
twinkle.
gonna share something with you because I feel guided to share it with you because somebody might need to hear it later on. But there was a phase in my life where I didn't want to be in the forefront of anything. I've never been that type of person. I was thrusted into this in many ways. In many ways, I was like thrusted into it where it was like kind of like sink or swim,
Oh my goodness.
And when I say that, I mean, because I've been depressed. I've been at a very low point in my life where I didn't want to live, right? So to be in those predicaments, um and like I said, it had a lot to do with my own personal experiences and journeys and things like that. But I truly believe through those experiences that the ideas that would come to my mind for a while I wasn't able to come up with my own thoughts. So I had to write it out, right? And then from writing it out every single day, then I was able to have clear thought. And then clear thought was able to turn into clear action. But I didn't have a physical person, or I wasn't able to afford, right? Therapy. I wasn't able to afford a lot of different things. And I didn't have tarot. So I didn't
Same.
have any of those things. And my personal relationship with other spiritual groups, I went to different ones and things like that, but it just didn't speak to my soul. Like I've always been that kid that prefers to talk to themselves. I play dolls. I have a wild imagination. So putting
About 16
restrictions
feet, don't tell nobody. Oosh.
yeah, so putting restrictions on it was like, why? You know what I'm saying? Why do I have to conform? You know? So in getting older, you know, and going through that process of when I started to really feel my lowest, it was around the time where I didn't realize that I was overexerting myself. Um, I would do things like I didn't want to be in the forefront, but I would build people up. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
I would literally like, oh, I see you doing this, do, and I would work hard to build that person up.
Right.
And
Right.
oftentimes I was in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? And my
Yeah.
objective was to propel that person forward, but it was depleting me,
Right.
right? But then I felt like I was doing the right thing because I didn't know how to love myself. And it felt
Exactly.
selfish to even put myself first. So I would say for about the first year of putting myself first, it was so like foreign. It felt foreign
Words. Yes.
to
Exactly.
literally prioritize me.
Right.
Like even
Right.
going shopping for my children, it was like I had to train myself to even buy for myself.
Same. Girl, my kids get on my case still. Mom, my
That
kids
is
had to start training me.
crazy. And it's like
Seriously.
no one, my mother didn't tell me to do that. No one told me to do that. I did it instinctually. So it's
Yes.
like how is something that you do instinctually feel, why does it feel so wrong? Or why is it like it's like one of those things where it's just like trial and error because you
Right.
instinctually just do it. So that even though there's this what you should or shouldn't do, your instincts gonna kick in.
Right.
Survival mode kicks in, mother mode kicks in, all these different titles kick in.
Right.
But
Right.
at the same time, I've always asked myself that question like, where did we get that standard of what it's supposed to look like? If it wasn't written down as a guide, like or a rule book to tell you how to do it, where did we get that innate instinct to do it?
Right. Right.
You
Where
know,
is this
is
all
it a
coming from?
program
Yeah.
or is it
Yeah.
natural? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then I noticed that men would study women's ability to instinctually create
Right.
from nothing
Right.
and to just fill in the gaps without ever being told. So somewhere along the line, masculine energy was mastering the art of utilizing the subconscious mind of women because it's
Right.
subconsciously happening. Instinct is subconscious.
Right. Right.
So it's like if we're that if we're not the ones in control of what goes in our subconscious, then who's telling us to do this? Or are we all or have we always been like because we can read a person and before we even realize we're reading them, we be in a relationship and we're reading their mind.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All in it too. Yes. And they mad at us now because we already know what they're thinking.
Right.
I get
We're reading what makes them tick, what they do and don't like. We're memorizing it. We know
yes.
it like the back of our hand. We know what not to do, when to do it. But at the same time, it really is really crazy. And I feel like a lot of times this is something that's taught. Like I feel like I don't know. It's in the water. It's in the air. Cause I
I used to say
there's
that too. They put it in the milk, something.
I'm
And that's
convinced.
why we lactose intolerant nowadays. You notice that? Have you noticed these things? I'm just saying.
And
People
something's
get
going on.
glucose problems, lactose intolerant, everything as like older people's had to grow up on and like were raised on. It's supposedly bad for us now, right? Out of nowhere. But
Hmm.
the people before us with less fortunate standings sustained even longer. Like
Yeah,
even longer.
it's like it's forcing us to learn the game. Like we
Yes.
have to master the game. As
Right. So
women,
that's why I
we
bring it back to that you said. Because it's like the old school, I value it. I
mhm,
value what was being taught back then because
mhm.
set a standard for things being taught now. But that's only if you see it that way. You see what I mean? Like if you see it that way, you're just like, okay, this is being said this way, but because we're losing our morals. A lot of people are losing morals along the way. And and it's not even morals that are being taught. It's self-morals. You're losing your self-morals. Everyone knows, like you said, our subconscious is telling us like, okay, that's not wrong, or that's wrong. We know it's wrong, or that's okay. It's okay. So as we're learning those things throughout time, and we're being taught those things, we're necessarily not. We're always being taught to work against that. And so, yeah, bridging that gap. We're going to come back after these messages, okay?
Yes, for sure. This has been so much fun. I
It
know it's
has. I don't
late.
want to
We
take
have
up
been
so much
up
of your
talking,
time.
haven't we?
Sorry. I
No,
apologize, my
no,
Taurus.
don't be sorry. This has been fun. That's why I do this on the Fridays, but I'm gonna do it a lot earlier next week. But
Venetian Day. Ooh.
yes, the mission day, like really just doing this. So on Fridays, for those that are in the chat that are watching right now, y'all make sure y'all come back Friday and even like hit me up on the community tab. We could talk about so many topics. And this is also an opportunity. Listen, I don't need guide cards to give guidance. You know what I'm saying? And in spirit, coming across any particular person, if spirit tell me to say something, it's always happening. So like, let's just tap in. And for those that were able to jump on and talk in the comments and you showing your beautiful face, I appreciate it. I was hoping that someone did take the bait. I was like, please, somebody, don't leave me on here by myself.
I said, you gonna make me get on here? I said,
Mhm.
it's like, no, this link is not making me do this.
Yes, yes. It
But
works. I'm glad it
TT,
works.
for you understand. For you, TT,
Thank
girl,
you.
girl. I'm just
I
telling you.
love you. Oh my God, don't
I
make me
love
cry.
you.
I'm a
I'm
crybaby.
sorry.
Not
You
on
just
here.
don't know. That was like you just don't know. It's like we have a lot to
Mhm.
share. I have a lot to share. This was like, girl, it's not even about reading. It's like if I'm just there to confirm so much for you, just to confirm to like a T. You were like, no way. I'm like, what you said right here. All of this, 5, 10, 15, 20. You were like, oh, mm-hmm. Spirit, come in, speak. I'm trying to tell you. So, however, I can be a vessel. I am
Thank
so grateful
you.
for you this morning. Seriously,
I
sincerely.
am too. I love you,
Love
CJ.
you
I
too.
appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you every day. Okay,
And you will.
every day.
And oh yes, I'm so sorry again. Okay, I will let you go. Share you. I need to share, y'all. I need to share. Get out the stinky.
I will
Don't
see
forget.
you again, and hit me up in my email. I'll
Okay,
be
we'll
busy,
do.
but I will respond whenever I can.
Take your time. Look, take your time. I'm patient. I'm not going anywhere. And you
All
know I'm
right.
real. You'll see me tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, boo.
Good night.
Good night.
Diana, how are you, beautiful? Thank you. No worries. Next week, you guys, we will do this again. Next week, Friday, 3:33 on the clock, as I said that. So I'm gonna let you guys get y'all beauty rest. Happy Venusian Day. Um, this has been a lot of fun, and I look forward to opening up conversation with you guys at the end of these lives and having some fun. Okay. I hope you feel better, Tam, Diana, all of y'all in the comments. I love you guys. And there will be readings this weekend. So check those out as well. If you feel guided to, all of my readings are timeless. If you're watching this on replay, I hope that you are having the best Venusian day ever when you see this. Love you guys. Good night. Tomorrow. Bye. How do I end the stream? Okay. New buttons.